What? Bucks, Falcons 30-0? Perfect.
Yeah, right.
Does this mic work?
Hello?
Well then, fuck that mic!
What are we doing? What are we doing?
You're listening to the only podcast that admits they might know what they are talking about.
Because they came to whose house?
This is We Might Know Sports.
I love you!
I hope everyone has a ball.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen.
With Stefan,
Yeah, that's nice.
Kevin, I think it's going to work this time, and Corey.
You should have started reeling because I bit all over that.
We like sports and we don't care who knows.
The fucking number one first round draft
Looking
pick.
at,
No, forget these people!
He just barely got
I
over
know.
25.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
There's
We
a
got
no-hitter
18
right
points
now,
last time,
bottom
yes.
of the seventh. Oh, never mind. No longer a no-hitter.
Who'd you say Stefan? Stefan?
Darby.
You guys there?
Yeah, say my name right if you're gonna come on this fucking show, dude.
Stefan.
I said Sam Darby. Sam Darby for Heisman.
Sam Darnold?
Darnold, whatever his name is. Ronald.
Say his name right if you're on this damn show.
And here we go.
All right, a very festive episode. I've muted my co-host because they were talking in the intro, so I couldn't even hear the intro, so they're going to have to unmute themselves. Joined as always by Stefan and Corey. As soon as Stefan figures out, there you go.
Hello, hello, hello.
There. All right.
Dilly.
Dilly, Philly.
No.
Yes.
We are not. We're really starting off that way.
Yeah, we're starting off that way.
Oh, God.
Hello, how are you guys?
Fantastic.
Been better.
You guys excited for this episode?
Yeah, because I'm extremely festive. So is my co-host.
Mm-hmm. I like
There's-
the music I like.
There's Christmas lights below our names. There's a Santa hat above our logo.
This is the Xmas episode.
Can you put Santa hat on me? Oh, I should have worn my Santa hat.
Oh, yeah, we do have Santa hats.
We really fucked that up.
Yeah, drop the ball on that one.
Whoops.
Oh, well,
Our,
next year.
our top five. I mean, you can wear it next episode.
Yeah, what are you smoking over there?
Am I smoking?
Nope.
What are you guys talking about?
Of the pen, I'm thinking it was in his
Yeah.
hand.
Oh, it's going to be quite the episode. I'm coming down with a cold now. I woke up and my nasals are all fucked up, so there'll be a lot of that during this podcast. Sorry for you audio only.
Is it just in your nasals or is it in your sinuses?
It's my sinuses.
Oh.
A little bit of ad-libbing, never heard anything.
Hey. Some things happened this weekend. You guys okay over there?
Yeah. Somebody was infiltrating the
lair.
church of sports.
A lot happened in the NFL world. A lot happened in the college basketball world. So let's hop into this one. NFL. There was news last week of the XFL returning. Guys, do you think this actually has a chance, or do you think it's going to be another $70 million wasted by Vince McMahon?
You think anybody actually cares?
Right.
Hey, they had some cool things like how they did the coin flip.
The only cool thing about it was he hate me. That was probably the one good thing that came out of the XFL.
He was a good player, and didn't Tommy Maddox come out of there? Or did Tommy Maddox play for the Canadian Football League?
Maybe.
No, Tommy
I feel like-
Maddox.
Tommy Maddox did play for there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was a starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers for a little while and had minor success.
So what are you trying to say?
It means some of those players really can play.
Well, I'm sure a lot of them can play.
I honestly think the NFL needs something like a minor league.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
does.
Why?
try new things out, new rules.
Why does the NFL need a minor league?
Why not?
More injuries. I just don't. Why would you do that?
You do it in the
To give
NBA.
undrafted players an option.
Yeah. You're
I mean,
only carrying
get undrafted,
55
then.
teams or 55 players.
You can go to the CFL. That's about it, though.
I mean, that's what the practice squads and all those things are for.
True.
Yeah, but it's a little more competitive. 55 guys on a roster, you know, that way you have a little
Practice
more.
squad, are you
juggling.
really getting any game experience? Like, you're not.
You aren't getting game experience, but
Yeah.
you're legit practicing with people that are in the NFL. So, what better experience?
It's
That
just
if you walk
practice.
into
you
the-
think that those people are giving 100% in practice?
If I walk in every day and I see Tom Brady at like 3 a.m, busting his ass until 8 p.m, I'm gonna say, "Fuck! If I want to make the NFL, I got to do that too."
I don't think Brady's.
If
up
I go to the
anymore.
XFL, nobody's doing that.
I don't think Brady's up.
Brady's not up at 3 a.m. for those who care because
Jameis Winston is.
he needs 10 hours of sleep on the dot. That's part of his regimen.
I don't know. I think his age is finally catching up with him.
You think he's slowing down?
Past couple games, yeah.
They're still winning.
I'm not saying they're not winning. He doesn't look spectacular. I'll say that much. Causes somebody's fantasy team to flounder a little bit.
All right. So let's jump into week 15. A lot of stuff happened. Stefan, your team only is the one that is there to matter about, really. How'd that happen?
No, your team matters tonight, Kevin.
that's
Team
true.
matters.
We need you to play no defense.
We need you to play lights out.
Or he's also got
or
Levante
Quan Alexander
David,
could-
so
Quan Alexander could just have like 3 pick sixes. That'd be nice, still. Take that. But yeah, no, the Eagles. Foles looked good. Defense looked like shit. And if their defense doesn't play, they're not going to go anywhere in the playoffs. I think Foles can manage them to wins in the playoffs. I don't think he's going to put up 4 touchdowns every game.
They aren't going to be playing the Giants every game either.
Exactly.
That's why I picked the Giants to win that game. It's not like you guys were like, some reason you picked the Giants. It's not like they didn't make it close.
Okay, but why? Giants are awful.
Yeah, and you only beat them by 5.
Okay, and that's because the defense played terrible.
I'm just saying it wasn't a crazy thought that the
It was
Giants
a pretty
could beat
crazy
the
thought.
Eagles.
It was
in
about
New York.
as crazy of a thought as Tennessee winning at home against North Carolina, right? That was a crazy thought.
I didn't say it was crazy.
You told me that it was a... All right, we'll get into that later. But the Eagles...
Stefan, by the way, has a lot of pent-up hostility apparently this week.
I have it every week. I don't think this week's any different.
It's a little more open.
I'm just getting sick of both your shits. You guys combine both your shits and throw them right in my face. And I'm had enough. Had enough. I'm not eating any more of your shits. The Eagles they locked up a bye,
Eagles.
so that's good. That's positive news. I think they'll be okay. They'll be all right. Foles is gonna do what Foles does.
Corey, big news out of Cincinnati this week.
Yeah, Marvin Lewis could be out. Well, is out at the end of the year. The bigger news is the Bengals trying to work up some kind of trade for Hugh Jackson, who was the coach of the Cleveland Browns. And he used to be the Bengals offensive coordinator, and before that he was the Bengals running back coach. That wouldn't be bad, seeing as he has familiarity with a lot of the players. But like I told you guys, I'd much rather Josh McDaniels, but the Bengals starting job isn't really that enticing for Josh McDaniels to leave. So Hugh Jackson will have to do. Hopefully we trade Andy Dalton for him.
Probably not.
The big thing out of the Vikings game is Teddy Bridgewater made his first appearance on the NFL field during a game.
That he did.
He got a nice round of applause.
Did he look like he was worthy of a trade for Zeke Elliott? I didn't see him play, so I don't know.
I didn't either.
Crickets. The answer's no, folks.
I was just curious.
The answer's no.
Just curious. Seemed like a fair trade.
How are the Vikings doing without Teddy Bridgewater? This is an easy one.
Doing phenomenal.
Phenomenal. How are the Cowboys doing without Zeke? Not good.
Getting by. All right. Falcons are favored in tonight's Monday night game against Tampa Bay, as we mentioned earlier. Over-under is 48.5. We all took the Falcons, though, so.
48.5. I like that. A lot of points scored.
I think I'd take the over because Atlanta always seems to put up 42 or more against Tampa in prime time.
That's back when Matt Ryan was worth something.
Still worth something. It's worth about 15 to 20 points a game.
So unfortunately for Corey, if history has its way, it's not good for his fantasy team. Broncos Colts played last Thursday. This week's been pretty crazy. In this coming week, there's Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday games. So a lot of football for you football freaks.
Yeah, in case you didn't get enough of it.
It was a good weekend though.
4 nights.
Brock Osweiler looked good beating down the helpless Colts defense.
Denver
That's
5-9
about all that happened.
now.
Yeah, they got a long ways to get to 13-3.
The Colts are 3-11, so. Then we have the Bears versus Lions. Lions taking care of business. Stafford had 2 touchdown passes. No interceptions, it looks like, according to my notes. Trubisky, rough outing. 3 interceptions. 1 TD, though.
He threw a lot, though, didn't he?
46 times.
Yeah, they let him air it out.
Because they were down a lot.
Chargers versus Chiefs in a game that was pretty disappointing. Everyone was talking about how great the Chargers were being, and the Chiefs actually showed up. They look like the team from earlier this year, winning 30-13 and
I feel like
taking
that
first
happened
place.
a lot this week. Like teams that were like kind of on the border decided to show up like what we all thought they were.
They were who we thought they
Yeah.
were.
Who picked those kind of games?
You had a good week.
Dolphins versus Bills. Dolphins coming off the win over the Patriots that no one picked up.
No one picked it up.
Remember that last week? We were talking shit about the Dolphins-Patriots game.
Yeah.
And then the Dolphins, who turn out to have the only winning record against Tom Brady at home.
And like I said, though, this week, every team came back to earth, and they are who we thought they were. I mean, I think most people thought the Bills could beat the Dolphins in Buffalo.
I was gonna
That's
say,
the thing, is that anytime they play in Buffalo, they play awful in Buffalo.
Right.
In 2 weeks when they play them in Miami, I wouldn't be surprised if Miami won.
right now, Bills sitting pretty at that 6th spot.
Are they sitting pretty with the Patriots and Dolphins at the Dolphins? At the Patriots?
Well, Tom Brady doesn't look that good these days, so you never know.
They don't even need Tom Brady. They could throw a running back there. They could throw an offensive lineman back there and still beat Buffalo in New England. Yeah. Yeah, I said that. You heard it
Little
here
Brian
first.
Hoyer action.
Buffalo. I can't even tell you the last time Buffalo's won in New England. Probably before this whole drought started.
Last time.
We gonna look it up.
There's
Yeah,
some.
why
We
not?
got some.
I don't think it's
We have
ever,
some supposed Bills fans that watch. Tune in. Let us know.
I don't think they watch.
Oh, they're done watching.
Yeah, they just
Ooh.
they're part-time fans.
There's a Google thing.
Part-time Bills fans.
They should be part-time.
Here we go. On September 25th, 2011, The Bills came back from a 21-0 deficit to defeat the Patriots 34-31.
Was that in Buffalo or in New England?
In New England.
I don't think it was in New England.
Hold on. There's a whole rivalry recap on Wikipedia.
I guarantee that was in Buffalo. Because I don't think they for a while, they weren't even winning either game. And then every once in a while, they'll steal one in Buffalo. But when it's in New England, it usually turns into like a
when
blowout.
they had Rex Ryan just a few years ago, they beat New England, but it must have been in Buffalo.
I think it was in Buffalo. Yeah, it was. And it was like a game that didn't even matter. Buffalo was already out, and New England already.
It was
clinched.
in Buffalo. Hold on. They won in 2014, December 28th, 17-9
In New England?
in Gillette Stadium.
That was one of those games that didn't matter. It was like a week 17. Didn't matter.
2014, that was
Oh,
Rex
wait,
Ryan.
hold on. October 2nd, 16-0. Oh, in Gillette Stadium.
October 22nd, what? What
October
year?
2nd, 2016.
Oh,
2016.
2016?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, then this kid's way off.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Suck it, Stefan! I got one. All right. Let's end the podcast now.
All right. I'll just sit over here and drink from now on.
There you go.
Are the Browns going to win? Moving on to the next game.
Who do
That's
they
probably
have
what,
left?
their last chance,
They
right?
play the Bears this week, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They have week 17.
Didn't
No
I
one they-
say it was this week that the Browns were going to win?
Yes, you did. I thought it would be the Jets. Didn't happen. They had who did they just play in overtime and couldn't pull it out? The Packers?
Green Bay. Yeah.
Huh?
They-
This week?
No, I said who did they just play? Meaning
Oh,
recently,
oh.
not this week. They played the Ravens and got
Yeah.
blasted,
I was going to say.
which was obvious with the Ravens defense. The Ravens are actually kind of scary in the playoffs. They're the team you
They're
really
not
don't-
in the playoffs yet, though.
If they make it, they're the team you don't want to play.
The Browns have 2 games left. One against the Bears this Sunday, and then the Steelers to end
Oh, yeah,
the
they'll-
season.
Oh yeah.
Depending on what's on the line for the Steelers, that could,
Say throw them a bone.
Everyone else has got one. Why not?
Just give them the win.
Jets, however, can't win another one. So right now, probably doing 6 shots just to make it fair to next week. That's why it's going to be labeled the Drunk Podcast. Goddamn Jets.
What if they win this week, though?
That's what I mean. I'll still do my 6 shots. That way I still don't owe, and I can still not drink and to start the new year.
But if they won
Why
7,
would you?
then,
If they win 7, you don't have to drink though.
Yeah, but then when am I going to do my shots?
you could just do the 6
Yeah.
shots if you want to do that.
I'm just going to do my 6 shots, call it even.
I don't know. I hope they win 7.
Wow, you guys will be drunk the next episode, so it'll be more entertainment around.
Yeah, but if you already drank, then I don't care if I drink. Whatever.
Cardinals, Redskins. Redskins won 20-15. Both teams are 6-8. They're irrelevant at this point. Nothing stands out.
Stefan's irrelevant.
Stood out.
I'm very relevant.
Can't believe Blaine Gabbert has a starting job.
I think I forgot a couple games on here.
Anybody else to play?
Team is awful.
Who else was even play? Drew Stanton.
They need a quarterback in this draft.
Texans destroyed by the Jaguars as the Jaguars clinched their first playoff spot since 2007. I'm not skipping all around. I actually forgot to put it in the notes. I didn't have a fact checker.
Bortles balled out.
3rd game in a row. I think he's thrown 3-2-2 or something like that. Touchdowns and
But according to Javion Clowney, he's trash.
I didn't even want to say that.
They asked him about Blake Bortles, like, so is Blake Bortles finally coming around? He goes, he's trash. He walked away.
I know the Cole kid, the receiver for the Jaguars, has been lighting it up as of late.
Yeah, they don't have anybody else to throw to. Everybody's hurt.
DeAndre Hopkins, even against
Should have picked his ass up. I'm
oh,
sure.
I do have that notes. There it is.
Hopkins, even against the best secondary in the league, still got his 80 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, I was not happy to see that touchdown.
Dude's a beast.
TJ Yates going 12 for 31. That's amazing.
Lamar Miller didn't even make it on there
Oh,
with his 9 carries for 39
30-some-odd
yards.
He was
Yeah.
awful. Absolutely pitiful.
The backup makes it on there.
They were
You
down.
know-
They're like, let's not injure Lamar. Let's pull him off.
You know what else was pitiful? The Seahawks home game against the Rams.
That was embarrassing.
It was 21-0 by the time I tuned out. It finished 42-7 in Seattle.
Todd Gurley, 3 total touchdowns. For like,
4 touchdowns. He had 3 rushing, 1 receiving.
he's just an animal this year.
I would give him MVP at this point, I think. What? No? Okay.
I'm not. I'm not.
Brady hasn't really been doing
I'm not
great.
going to go at you that hard on that. I'm not going to go at you.
Wentz, I feel like is still ahead of Brady, even though Wentz hasn't been playing. Like, Wentz still has more touchdowns, I think.
We just had probably up to this point the biggest game in the NFL, right? Steelers, New England, in the whole season. That's been the biggest game. That was the most important game so far. Brady had to lead a game-winning drive to win that game.
Okay.
He played well in the big moment.
So that's all that matters for MVP?
Well, on top of that, he's throwing for the most yards. He's like 3rd in touchdowns.
Okay.
What do you want from? He's got the best record in the league.
He has the best record in the league?
Oh, the Eagles are
Yeah,
better. Sorry.
okay.
They're 2nd.
Okay.
Sorry.
Best record in the AFC.
There you
Yes.
go. It's a little better.
I don't know. It's still Brady.
I'm just saying, what if what's his face there? Gurley does that again the next 2 games.
I'm not gonna...
I don't know how many yards he has for the year, but I mean, he's been playing really well.
He wasn't first. Le'Veon Bell was, but I don't know if that has changed.
Touchdown-wise, I think he might be in first.
I think it was Bell, Gurley, Hunt.
I know Seahawks fans kind of want a running back for Christmas.
Yeah, that would be nice for them.
Russell Wilson once again leading the team in rushing yards with 39.
Fine for Christmas. How about the Panthers are on fire, and I wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs either,
I want to play them.
as they beat the Packers.
Beat him again.
Aaron Rodgers makes his debut back from collarbone surgery.
We could beat them when Nick Foles.
Oh, God, you beat the Giants by 5, and now you can beat the Panthers.
Panthers have lost to trash teams this year.
They're hot right now. though.
Okay.
Okay.
The Eagles
If
are
they
hot.
win out going into the playoffs, you're not going to be like, yes, give me the Panthers. Nobody's going to be excited for that.
I'm not worried about it.
Oh,
I'm not going into it and be like, oh, man, it's a loss. Like you are, apparently.
No, I don't think, oh, man, it's a loss.
Like you're acting like it's not even going to be a game.
I didn't say any of those things.
You just said that the Eagles are not beating them a second time with Foles.
I don't think they can beat them with Foles.
Okay, so you're saying it's not a game.
I'm not saying that.
That's what you're
I
saying.
just don't think they can beat them. I don't care if it's 29-28.
All right.
I don't think they'll beat them. When the Panthers go on that field, they have the best player in that whole game on their team.
In the game, yeah, sure.
And it's an
Are you
important
on that?
piece that can control the game, though, right?
But he also played. What did he do against the Eagles? He didn't do shit.
They didn't play that well. That was a Thursday nighter, though.
So say the Eagles defense turns it up again and doesn't play like they did against the Giants.
I was just gonna say.
I was
Wait,
gonna say,
what defense did you just see?
I'm not. But they played bad on certain plays, but then they also looked really good. Like I think it was after like the Giants third touchdown. All of a sudden, like that's when the Eagles defense turned it up. I mean, they have the potential to be really good, but they just slacked off for some reason at certain points in that game.
when Carolina played the Eagles,
It was a
Wentz
Thursday nighter.
threw 3 touchdown passes.
I'm not saying the reason it was a Thursday nighter is because the Eagles won. I think the reason the Eagles won is because they had Carson Wentz, and they don't now.
What did
I think the
What did,
Thursday night games
Cam
do
Newton
affect players, though. I think Thursday night games affect people. Teams.
do you have it still pulled up?
28 for 52, 239 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions.
I knew he didn't play well. He had good rushing, though.
So you're saying that
71 yards, 1 rushing
the
touchdown.
reason they won was because Wentz
Yeah.
had nothing to do with their defense.
Well, you still have to score points, right?
I'm saying
How many
you don't have to
defensive
score.
touchdowns did they have?
I don't know.
How many points off of turnovers did they have?
Okay, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
They shut down Cam. You're saying that Cam's the best player in the field, but they already shut him down once. They know what to do against him, obviously. Am I saying that they're definitely going to do that exact same? No.
I would argue he's playing better right now than back then. But
Yeah, he had that sluggish time.
And who's to say he doesn't go get sluggish again?
He could.
Come playoffs.
because
He's very inconsistent.
I was going to
like
say
that.
we've talked all season when Cam's the best player on the field. He's the best player in the NFL, but he has points
Right.
where he's not even a top 15 quarterback. We saw that. Did the Panthers go into New England and beat Tom Brady? Yes. Cam balled. When he plays like that, you can't beat him. But he doesn't always play like that.
Right.
Otherwise, we'd be talking about like Newton being the greatest player ever,
He's not.
and he's not. He's not. Probably not even top 50.
Not even on the page.
Not even top 50. Maybe not even top 100.
What else we got?
Steelers versus Patriots, 27-24. Patriots win after a controversial ending. Controversial because technically it was a catch according to the rules, but do you guys agree with those rules?
Was it catch?
It was not a catch, excuse me.
Yeah, I was going to say, technically it's
I
not.
believe they were true with going with the rule.
Yeah.
But
Do you-
everyone hates the rule, right?
Yeah, do you agree with the rule? Like,
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
if
Get how a running back could put the ball over and it crosses the line and fumble and it's a touchdown. But a receiver crosses the line, has to land, has to carry it all the way through to make that a touchdown. That does not make sense. Can anyone explain how
But
that
at the
makes
same
sense?
time, it makes it so you have an objective thing. Like, you're not just going off judgment of, oh, that was a catch, that wasn't a catch. Like, this just makes it objective. Like, you have to hold on to it all the way through the catch. Did he make a football move? I don't think. He was still in the he was coming down to the ground when he did that. He wasn't even on the ground yet when he made that move. Does that count as a football move? I don't think so. In my eyes.
I just feel like if the running back doesn't have to make a football move, he just has to try to get it over. the
Right,
line.
but they're
as soon as
carrying the ball. They've had the ball.
They've
Like,
already established possession is what the argument is the difference.
Yeah.
The running back already has possession. The receiver, if he's fumbling it, obviously, and it crosses the line, doesn't have possession. So I get the argument, but I don't like it. I like that the ball crossed the line, 2 arms up.
plays done, touchdown.
I haven't been a big fan of that rule since they came up with it, but it's like the only way to make it like a surefire. Like, otherwise, you're letting the refs judge it, and you know what happens when the refs judge it.
I
It's gonna
think
get
that was an easier call than some of the ones in the past. Like the play that originally started this rule.
the Des Bryant one.
No, the Kelvin Johnson one is bullshit. He took a knee and was ready to get up, and like the ball slipped out of his hands. Nope, he didn't go all the way through with it. Like what?
Yeah,
that's what started the whole thing. That's ridiculous. That's a touchdown. Like you said, you made a play. You already had the ball. If you go down and take a knee,
right,
the play's over. You got the touchdown.
Yeah.
Touchdown.
I hate that rule, but it is what it is. If they go by the way it is, then whatever. And Ben Roethlisberger made a bonehead play by trying to force something.
If anything, he knew he didn't have anything, so
He
he
could
should
have
have
just thrown it out.
That's what
Kick
I was.
the field goal.
He should have to force it in there like that when there was nothing there. Was just terrible decision.
Do we feel that Ben makes that mistake against another team, or the Patriots' greatness put pressure on people?
I don't think.
Do you think he makes that play because he's like, shit, I don't want to go into overtime with this team?
Well, like Mike Tomlin said, he said they play to win. They don't. So they were going for the win. They had the time. It's not like they kind of like that was an incomplete pass. Doesn't get picked off. They kick the field goal, and it was a free play that it happened to land in the Patriots' hand. Like any other time, ball just gets batted down or something. That one just happened to pop up, and now it's game over. So everybody looks at it as like a shitty play, but really it was a good play. Just he should have, I think, thrown it away because there was nothing there.
I just think it's weird how teams tend to choke versus the Patriots. I.e. Falcons last year in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Hey, but it got Julio Jones that cool Bose commercial.
I just feel like it's the pressure of playing them, but We could spend a while on that. I'll go to the next game.
It's the greatest team of our generation.
Maybe franchise of our generation. I'm not saying of all time. Of our generation.
Greatest franchise actor.
Yeah.
Coming from the greatest franchise of our generation, Garoppolo. Another one for the 49ers over the Titans.
Dude can't lose. Dude doesn't lose. He's got that Brady in him. He doesn't lose games.
He's not like putting up yardage wise, he's putting up fucking
tons of yards.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I had to start him this
Another
week.
bonehead play too. In a side note, on our fantasy teams, I had a player named Adoree Jackson, who's the number one corner for the Titans and a great player. And I was like, the last 3 weeks, no one's challenging Adoree Jackson. No one's throwing it his way, so he's worth nothing in fantasy. And this week, Garoppolo's like, I'm not scared. Throws at Adoree Jackson. Adoree had like 10 or 11 tackles. He would have balled out for me, but I dropped him.
I thought about picking him up too.
He also had return yards and all, and three pass deflections. He was like a 20 probably.
I'm kind of curious.
Your boy Hyde wasn't there for him.
I think Jimmy Garoppolo was the real deal, though.
No, Hyde's been shut down, and they're talking about drafting a running back. So I think maybe Seattle can pick up Hyde.
Your free Hyde movement.
Yeah, Seattle, Carlos Hyde makes sense.
And you kind of get rid of him. What else do they got?
They're talking about drafting.
And while Stefan looks that up, the second controversial game.
10.84 points.
Still good.
Still decent.
Better than both of our. Oh, actually, yours did pretty decent.
8-5.
Yeah, mine did shit.
All right. Anyways, what were you saying, Kevin?
The second controversial game of the day.
Stayed up all night for that.
Cowboys versus Raiders. Raiders. Now, can you explain to me how, if you can fit something in between the ball and the post, how it's a first down?
No, especially when it's a folded piece of paper doubling the thickness. The Raiders won or should have had a chance to win that game.
They did have a
chance.
They
would have won. They would have won if that didn't happen, yes.
The head umpire in that game said that he already decided it was a first down. He was just doing it to reaffirm his belief that the ball was in fact first down. I don't know how if you can fit something in between.
I didn't like his theatrics the whole game, honestly. He was like smiling and like soaking in being the star of the game. You're a referee. You shouldn't even be relevant. We shouldn't be worried about the referee. It's the same problem I have with umps in baseball being way too charismatic when they strike people out. Just say strike 3, you're out, and get it moving. I don't need all the freaking enthusiasm.
I don't like the 5 baseball games you've ever watched.
Why doesn't Barry... I used to watch a lot when I was a kid.
Do a little dance. Strike 3!
Yeah, just say strike 3. Let's keep it...
Also, Derek Carr fumbled the ball outside of the end zone, and it rolled into the end zone, causing a touchback. Do you guys... Any other time you fumble forward, it goes back to the line of scrimmage. Why is the end zone so much special?
That rule, I know, has always been there.
Yeah.
So,
but once again, do you agree with that rule? Like, all these special circumstances for the end zone and different.
You said normally it would just go back to the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, and loss of down.
I'd be okay with that. I guess I don't really care either way about this rule. So, if you feel strongly one way or the other, go ahead.
Like, I get it when you're at the other side and it's a safety because basically you're either allowing the defense to score a touchdown or get 2 points, whatever. But when you're trying to do something positive for your team and you're getting punished by losing possession of the ball, but no one else recovers, I don't know. I find it hard to accept this rule. Never really liked it. Go ahead, Stephen.
I don't really have any. I this, like you said, it's been a rule as long as I can remember. I remember the Cowboys.
Don't mind me.
Yeah, Cowboys. What was it?
Just trying to enjoy his strawberry acai refresher.
Mm-hmm.
That Don Beebe chased down
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl there. That ended up being a touchback or whatever.
Yes.
But yeah, it's about. I mean, I get, but at the same time, I mean, you gotta take care of the ball. Like you know the rules, so it's not like he was unaware. I understand he was trying to win the game, but
He already had the first down too. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do that extra effort. I know, like you said, you're trying to win the game.
Right.
You're gonna make that stretch. But
right. Maybe go with two hands instead of the one. I don't know.
yeah, there you go.
Two hands like Mama taught you. How do we do in picks this week? So far, I should say.
Pretty good. Some of us. Yeah, we all did pretty good.
3-2 is not great. If Falcons win,
I've seen better.
Well, compared to your last 2 weeks, I'd take 3.
been putting off the ball lately.
Maybe that's why you started tanking and pick them.
It has been. It's been similar.
You were right there, battling me.
Mhm.
Now I got nobody.
Now I can go for second place for the third fucking year in a row. I'm loving being the first to lose.
Tell you what, you're my favorite second place player.
It's like fantasy football. I swear to God, if I lose and I get third place for the third year in a row, I'm gonna fucking scream.
Would you rather get second place than lose to Ryan?
Yes. I'd rather make the Super Bowl than be playing some consolation crap game.
What's
Oh, I
fantasy
won't play.
football? I haven't even played since week 13.
But I'd like to win something.
You win the consolation. What'd you say, Kevin?
Said I just wish to be playing fantasy football at this point in time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
must be tough.
a little bit tough.
Less distracting, that's for sure. Going to this week's picks. We're all going Eagles, Lions, and Panthers. Oh my.
Yeah, that was easy.
Falcons versus Saints. Stefan's picking the Falcons. And Maddie, Ice We Trust.
Exact revenge
Because
in
I'm
New
planning on winning
winning.
that championship game, so I need the Falcons to play well.
Obviously, only Kevin likes what he saw out of Seattle.
No, I'm just trying to make my way up the charts somehow. Playing the odds at this point. What do I got to lose? One game at a time.
We have everything to lose.
You know, we should
should've
have
picked-
all
should've
of
picked-
week 17. That way we have a lot of movement, maybe, possibly.
I'll do it. I've been killing you guys and picking them all year, so let's do it. I ain't no scared.
Ain't no
What
scared of
week?
no ghost.
That's what he's talking about. Week
Okay.
17. Yeah. No, what he's talking
You
about.
just mean
I'm
NFL
I'm talking about in our ESPN pick 'em.
Mhm.
Anybody that beats me is only by like a point or two, anyway, so you guys ain't gonna fucking you won't get damage.
No.
I've already got. What do I got? How much lead do I have right now?
Good game.
3 games. Cake. You pick like half of them right nowadays, so
1-9 in 2 weeks is rough. Not gonna win anything.
Speaking of rough, let's transition to college football. Unfortunately, won't be able to have Joe on the line because I suck at technology again.
And we don't have 50 minutes to dedicate to it.
And Joe actually went with the pick against Corey, and it worked out for him, going 5-1. Stefan went 4-2. I went 3-3, and Corey coming in last this week, 2-4.
good job, Corey.
I'm not worried about these junk games.
What do you mean you're not worried about these junk games? This is where it makes or breaks.
This is the...
real games, and I get all those right.
You're not going to get half of those right.
I'll have all those right.
That's
looking at this week, we have
I'll go with UCLA down.
Akron versus Florida Atlantic. I'm guessing we're all going Florida Atlantic.
You don't even have Joe's picks.
Nah, I just text them, so it's gonna be a while, if ever. I'll harass them this week to get them. Louisiana Tech versus SMU in the Frisco Bowl. I am going SMU. Everyone else?
Odd man out.
Yeah, well, gotta make up ground somewhere. Sorry, trying to get it back center.
Games in this.
Can you?
Yeah, I'm up 6 going into this. Not now. Now I'm up 4.
Temple versus Florida International. Corey's taking Temple. I can't see your pick, Stefan. So
I'm not.
You're on the Temple. Temple train. Temple favored by 7 points. By the way, SMU was favored by 5, and Florida Atlantic favored by 22. Holy shit. So that won't be fun to watch tomorrow.
Okay.
And then Friday, UAB versus Ohio. Starts the day off at 12:30. Ohio 7.5 point favorites, and Stefan and I are high on UAB.
I'm more interested to know what this Golden game is about.
I'm more interested in why you pick Central Michigan, Kevin.
Let me look at my notes.
Because they beat Syracuse.
No, actually, Syracuse beat them, so why would I be?
They finally beat Syracuse, or Syracuse finally beat them for once.
They always beat them.
Well, that makes it even more interesting. Why I picked
I just didn't like who Wyoming had played, I think, was my reasoning.
I wasn't sure. I figured you had done enough research. You knew they had Josh Allen, who's like a top NFL prospect. Not saying one player wins games, but
I looked at schedules and compared them. That's how I came up with all my picks. The golden line there is the games that happen.
That's the cutoff, right?
That's the cutoff, yeah.
For this week?
Yeah, the last game played will be the Utah West Virginia.
Gotcha.
At least Corey gets me.
I saw it the other day. I was like, is there something special about this game? Like a side bet on this game? Like, what's going on here?
So Duke Northern Illinois, that's the game of the week now. Yeah, that was just I don't have odds for these other games. That's kind of sad. Oh, there we go. Some of them I don't have odds. I don't have odds for the Central Michigan game. South Florida, even despite losing their coach of the year, is favored by 2 points over Texas Tech. Toledo is favored by 7.5 over Appalachian State. Yeah, that's before the cutoff. These are all happening on Saturday, December 23rd. Tuesday. Utah is favored by 6.5 over West Virginia, and Stefan and I are high on West Virginia. There's still time for us to change these, Stefan.
Change it right now, though, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the rule?
I guess. Yeah, sure.
The rule was podcast was the cutoff.
Okay. Well, you can change it now if you want.
I don't want to change it. Houston.
Kansas State is favored by 2.5 over UCLA.
Oh, it's not the game I said.
No, that's not this.
I think I put. Oh wait, that's 9 o'clock. Never mind. Sorry. What game were you?
Fresno State versus Houston. You have before the cutoff, also.
I don't have the odds though. It didn't give it to me.
What about San Diego State Army? Did you mention that?
I'm the only one going Army.
Mm-hmm.
I went with both of the military schools.
I do not have an odd for that.
It's all good. San Diego State's going to win anyway.
Go San Diego
San Diego
State.
State's going to lose twice this week.
Let's
Football
go
and basketball.
Aztecs. All the way.
Football and basketball
Speaking
going down.
of, let's move.
Let's move on. Sounds good. Stefan, go ahead.
This is when it gets
Where are we going? College basketball?
Yes.
What's next?
What do we
College basketball.
Review.
review?
Review.
We review the games that we picked.
Yeah.
See, we had good old barn burner with Syracuse Georgetown.
Overtime game.
Nice little overtime game. The 2 out of 3 of our teams went to overtime.
UNC almost went to overtime. So.
I know. That was actually a really good game.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I really didn't think Syracuse was gonna come back. I thought that
Down 13.
Georgetown was handling them pretty well, and then all of a sudden just flip of the switch and Georgetown.
Battle and Brissett started,
Yeah,
or Brissett started hitting threes.
Brissett, I think
It is
O'Shea
Brissett.
Brissett. Yeah. The
They
Canadian
started hitting
wonder.
their threes. That was, in all honesty, my first time watching Syracuse. I was impressed by that Brissett kid. He seems promising if he sticks around.
I think outside of Battle, he's their best player.
Yeah, he seemed more all around than Battle. Honestly, he's a good rebounder for his size.
Yeah, I think size-wise, that helps them out a lot
Mhm.
as far as who's better.
Yeah,
I would say I'd give it to Brissett. Just
he has I noticed he has a really quick second jump too, which is helpful for rebounding, and he was good at putbacks, missed shots. Oh, I got blocked. Go back up, put it back in. I was impressed. Was I impressed enough to put him in my top 25? We'll wait and see.
We'll see. Georgetown, probably the first quality opponent they played. They didn't answer the call.
No,
So.
but at the same time,
They did look good.
first quality team
Yeah.
they played, they were
Yeah.
almost
they didn't
equal.
get blown out or anything.
No.
So
But I will say in college basketball, it seems more than any other sport, it is extremely hard to win on the road.
Yeah.
So impressed by Syracuse winning on the road.
it was impressive.
Especially down that much at halftime. Gives me hope.
Because we watched that one ACC special with the coaches all talking, and they all seemed to be in agreement that winning on the road is the hardest thing in college basketball.
Definitely.
Especially probably when you're in the ACC. Road wins don't come by too often.
Then a surprise close game of the week. North Dakota versus Gonzaga.
North Dakota was actually up at halftime.
Yep. That was not what I was expecting.
Not where the Zags need to be.
And they ended up hanging with them long enough to send him to overtime with a crazy three-pointer with a hand in his face.
That I called.
Yeah, I wanted to punch you in the face afterwards.
Right when he put it on, like it said, switch.
But then they handled them in overtime and
Yes, they did.
escaped the upset bid. This does worry me because it was at home, and they usually play very well at home. So, and this is against a not quality opponent. Hopefully they can figure out whatever was going on in that game. I didn't catch the whole game, so I don't know what exactly their problem was. I don't know if they were just playing poor defense or if it was
We were watching a little foosball. at that point.
yeah. So they've got some. Well, they got a game tonight. We'll see how they play in that game. Huey Pooey.
Huey Pooey.
Huey Pooey. Should be an easy win, but we'll see. Much better game. Did you
Yeah.
watch it?
The whole thing. I was excited for the game because I knew it was the best team they played in a little while. I can't say the best team they played. They played Michigan State this year, but best team they played since. And
In Tennessee.
it was in Tennessee. We talked about how hard it is to get road wins. Obviously, Stefan agreed because you obviously think Tennessee's decent. And I got to admit that they're better than I thought they were.
I think one of the most interesting stats of this whole game is that UNC led for a minute 15 seconds and won the game.
Yeah.
Or no, I think it was actually a minute and a half. It ended up being a minute and a half.
Ended up being the important minute and a half.
Yeah.
But kind of what I thought, if it was a close game, what would happen is Joel Berry would take over, and that happened. Unfortunately, North Carolina is going to have to rely on that a lot this year, it seems.
I think if
they're going to get wins.
I think this game came down to experience. Joel Berry has the experience. I think Tennessee's a younger team. They're good.
I was impressed by that kid they call Baby Barkley.
Yeah,
Williams.
He was really good.
He was really good.
Yeah, I think they'll be a team to watch for in March, but they got some growing to do for sure.
Yeah. I know we made a side bet that definitely didn't happen. Tennessee's better than 10 points differential at home. Granted, if it was in North Carolina, I probably wouldn't make that bet. No. I think North Carolina might be able to handle them a little easier.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Well, we won't see. We won't see that game again. But
right.
Tennessee could improve as the year goes.
Right. I think they're a solid team. That's why I think I actually ended up putting them into my top 25. I didn't have
even with a loss.
Yeah. And I think even some people moved them up like a spot, or only dropped them a spot.
I only dropped them like one or two.
I
was impressed.
That's a quality loss.
Yeah.
To be winning for the whole game and just lose it at the end. You obviously were the better team that game. You just
like you said, you lost to experience, and I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. North Carolina has better players,
right?
Because they get better recruits. Mm-hmm. So you lost to a team that has better players and more experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a tough battle every day to play a team that has better players and more experience.
Yeah.
But they're going to get plenty of experience after they run through the SEC this year, and they could become a dangerous tournament team.
It'll be a good battle between them and Kentucky.
That's what I was going to say. Speaking of the SEC, Kentucky played Virginia Tech.
This game I didn't think was going to be anything, but actually was a pretty good game.
Kevin was intrigued by this game, right, Kevin?
I haven't been impressed with Kentucky's performance against non-conference teams, so that's why I took Virginia Tech.
I haven't been impressed with them, but as of late, they have been playing really well.
Buzz Williams always has that one shocking win too. So
they have Knox. I try to keep my eyes on certain players across the country. He's been playing well.
But
Kentucky needs to
that guard they have too. There's like a D or something.
Yeah, they have a guard.
Diallo or something. I don't know.
Yes, that's who
Diallo.
It is. Yeah.
He's really good. But Virginia Tech, I didn't realize they're a very good shooting team.
And they're a Buzz Williams team, so they're going to play tough, and they're going to be stingy on defense. And Buzz has been there for a few years now, so he's starting to get the recruits and starting to get the players that fit his system. And before long, they could be like that Marquette team in the Big East that caused some havoc.
Definitely.
Moving on, Cincinnati seems for real, I guess.
They're back to winning.
Yeah.
They had a little slump. Lost a couple games, I think.
Yeah.
In a row.
What was the game that we were all Florida? Did Florida beat them?
Florida did beat them.
And Florida hasn't looked great, so that was kind of a bad loss.
Because then Florida went and lost again.
Yeah.
Right after that. So.
Yeah.
But
apparently Florida plays to the level of competition.
Not really sure what Kevin was thinking with the UCLA pick. Were you just trying to go against the grain, or you really thought that UCLA?
I don't remember. This was last week.
UCLA is just, I think, losing those three players. I mean,
those are three recruits.
Right.
Those are scholarship players, too. It's not like they're nobodies.
Yeah. I don't think they're the same team. I don't know how good they would have been even with those three, but they just haven't looked good this year. Right. They're not the Lonzo Ball led UCLA Bruins, that's for sure.
All right, skipping to Purdue and Butler.
Why do you want to skip? Let's talk about the best player in the whole country. The best player in the whole country. The best player. Trae Young.
I'm not going to say it. That's what you want me to say.
Trae Young.
Not that I think Joel Berry is. I've already told you. I think Bagley's the best player in the country. But
pound for pound, who's the best player in the country?
It's pound for pound crap.
In case you didn't realize, we had this argument the other night. But this was at Wichita State. Oklahoma pretty much dismantled them for the majority of the game. Wichita State made a little push at the end, made it kind of close. But
This is a Wichita State team, not to cut you off, that Kevin was high on, so I kind of wanted to hear him talk a little bit about it.
Yeah.
When you're done.
no, I was just gonna say
I knew you'd talk your shit because you're all about the Sooner.
I'm really high on Oklahoma. I think even with Trey Young, they also have some very good complementary players.
They also have a great coach. We've talked about that a little bit. Coach with experience,
Yeah.
Final Four experience now. Kruger.
Oh.
He got there with Buddy Hield.
Yeah.
You might have a player that could get him there again.
Yeah. You didn't watch the game, right?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
I saw his stats, but that doesn't always tell you how great.
I was watching it, and I had heard kind of some comparison to it, and I kind of agree with it. Steph Curry-esque. The way where he was pulling up for threes, just coming off screens, and just the minute you give him like an inch of room, he's pulling and just draining them. Like it reminded me a lot of Steph Curry.
Yeah, you've been saying that, so now it does make me more intrigued to see the kid.
And just like you look at his stats, and I think he's over 28 points in the past like 6 or 7
As far
games.
as collegiate shooting, you put him right there with Stephen Fredette.
Yeah, I mean, I've only seen him the one game, but I would say
Because
so,
those, to me, are the two best shooters I've seen in college.
And he gets to the rim almost at ease.
He's quick, too.
Yeah, I think.
What's his size? Very similar to Steph, 6'3"-ish?
Yeah, probably. Do I think I'll probably give it the same chance I gave Steph? I don't think he's going to make it in the NBA, but it could. Obviously, Steph Curry showed that it's possible. So
yeah. And Oklahoma will be playing much better competition.
Yeah.
Than Davidson did. So
we'll see. Go ahead, Gavin. Give us your intake, your input.
Yeah, I know you liked Wichita.
I didn't watch the game. I was out celebrating my 3rd wedding anniversary, and
congratulations.
Congrats.
All I know is what Stefan just said. So
you said you did watch, or you didn't watch?
I didn't watch. Spending that quality time.
Purdue keeps winning.
Purdue is legit, I think. I didn't give them credit last week when Kevin had them above Gonzaga with their 2 losses, but I think I gave them their credit this week. Spoiler alert. Butler is not who I thought they were.
No.
The Butler didn't do it this year.
Butler's not looking.
Butler, I will go ahead and write off. Not expecting anything out of them. But Purdue had those 2 losses in that tournament, I think.
Yeah.
And then
they were able to beat Arizona, and that was
Arizona.
big for them, I think.
But Arizona, that was a rough stretch for them.
Yeah.
I think Arizona's playing a lot better now.
And Purdue's playing a lot better now.
Purdue's playing a lot better. They got some gigantic guy, Haas.
I haven't seen him.
Dude is a monster. I don't know how he doesn't score like 80 points a game.
Because I had heard Purdue this year was going to be very perimeter based after using Slanigan.
Dude is gigantic.
But they're going inside to that dude.
I mean, I saw a little bit of him going inside. I saw some of the highlights, and dude just looks like he's towering over everybody. White guy, just a monster. He's solid.
And then in the next game, I went against my better judgment just to kind of pick up an upset because Northern Iowa I thought looked decent in their tournament, and they bite me in the ass.
I originally wanted to go with Northern Iowa.
Yeah, we all had Northern Iowa.
And you guys all went there, and I was like, you know what? I'll go Iowa State. I'll go with the big dog.
Yep.
The real big dog.
The big dog pulls through. Competitive for a little while. Iowa State was able to pull away.
And Iowa State hasn't been playing bad. I don't think they've really played too much of
No, I
competition.
saw some people. Well, we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. But Iowa State could surprise some people. They always put together a pretty decent team.
moving on. This picking our games for this week was interesting.
Hold on.
Oh,
Let's
whoa, whoa.
Let's do top 25 first.
Top 25
Oh, we
first.
gotta do top
Yeah.
25 first. Oh, what the fuck you're doing.
Top 2 stayed the same. Some people
Interesting.
came to their senses and put Arizona State up in the top 3.
Hey,
Hey, something.
Tom.
I did not.
That's what you said. Tom.
Miami's coming in at 4, dropping a spot to Arizona State. Duke dropped 1. North Carolina dropped 1. Kentucky.
Everybody dropped one only because Arizona State jumped up.
Yeah.
Nothing they did wrong. They all won their games. They just Arizona State jumped up.
Wichita State dropped 4 after their loss to Oklahoma. That's kind of interesting.
Did what? Wichita State dropped what?
4.
They were penalized greatly for their loss to Oklahoma.
Mhm.
There were a lot of people who didn't have Oklahoma even on their list.
Not
Not Stefan. He was riding them.
I pulled a Kevin. Jumped him straight up the charts after that win. That's what you're allowed to do.
So are we just dismantling our total list, or are we going at each other's?
Rounding out the top 25, Oklahoma comes in at 20. Florida State
Do a
rounds
large
it up.
part to me, probably.
They're on mine now.
I know, but
I couldn't have go any longer.
But where I put them is probably where
Yeah.
they jumped
Yeah.
up.
Do you have them 9th or something?
I think I'm like 12th or 10th or
Okay.
something.
Yeah, I don't even. They're 12th.
12th.
I got them at 24th.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you're smoking, but we'll talk about that later.
Well, why not talk about it now?
Go. So what is your reasoning for 24th? So you think that Notre Dame with their 3 out of 5 losses is better than Oklahoma with their 1 loss, just beating Wichita State, who was you were extremely high on, and so was the rest of the country apparently, putting them at number 3 at Wichita State.
Yeah.
I
put them from not even being on my list and put them at 17 now,
18.
right?
Yes,
17. I was impressed. I also, though, didn't penalize Wichita too much because I thought they played a good team.
Right.
That was my reasoning for not plummeting Wichita State.
No comment?
I
I'm just asking. I don't even know how Notre Dame's even in the picture for a lot of you guys right now.
Yeah, I put them all the way. I almost was going to leave them off, but I couldn't do it because I still think Notre Dame has the talent to beat Texas Tech, Florida State, and Tennessee on a neutral court.
Well, I didn't put Florida State in mine either.
No.
I don't think Florida State's.
No, I mean, let's talk about yours. Clemson's a curious team.
They just beat Florida State, didn't they? Or
Yeah.
did they beat Florida? Florida State or
Florida State.
So, that's why I put them in.
And Iowa State because they beat Northern Iowa.
Creighton because
They have no other good wins besides, I think it was a Nevada, which I think is garbage.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Yes, I know. I know. Same with Minnesota. I know.
I think he should have dropped him out last week when they lost 2 games, but he didn't. And then this week they won a game, so they bumped him up,
Mhm.
and other people lost. That's the only reason I see him doing that. That's the explanation I'm giving him. But I mean, I like we've all said, your 2015 team. I mean, it doesn't matter much.
No, it doesn't.
it'd be a
I could-
7 seed in the
Put any
tournament.
number of teams in there at the 25th spot.
I think BC being
I'm surprised
Notre
Syracuse didn't move up on Kevin's, honestly. But
Because I don't
I
see him
might-
not being a 7 seed in the tournament.
Kevin, I'm surprised because at Georgetown, a rivalry game, and a team that was undefeated, I really did think you'd have Syracuse a little higher. And I wouldn't have argued it.
I need to see something other than a
That.
Georgetown team with with a questionable out
Strength
of
of
conference.
Mhm.
yeah,
I'm cool with it. I thought it was fair. No one had Syracuse.
No, like I said, I was just surprised because
Yeah.
your hometown favorite.
Yeah. Well, I just view them right now as a 7 seed. Just like
I would have given you a lot more shit if you did move them up. Like, legitimately moved them up, but you didn't. So
I think
I'm
that's
okay.
why I also put TCU as 8, just because I see them as a 2 seed. That's how
Yeah,
I'm
that's
doing.
not
mine.
high on TCU
No.
at all.
And either
Everybody else is.
is the coaches. They have them 15th.
I think
That's why I think all of you guys are smoking crack. You're awarding a team who beat Nevada, right?
I think it's more or less I just see
That's it.
conference as a whole, and I see TCU actually competing for it.
they've still got to prove a
We're
little
looking
more.
through different glasses, I guess.
They got to prove more to me. They like Corey's saying, they haven't really played much, but
I was actually surprised to see you move Gonzaga down, Saga down.
'cause I was not impressed.
You
They
moved
did.
Gonzaga
I
now?
did move them down 3 spots.
I think
Oh,
we're
wow.
more impressed with each other that we didn't do what we thought the other would do.
I could not keep them where they stayed in the AP poll. They stayed. I don't know how they stayed in this. They stayed in the 12th spot. They didn't move them up or down, but
I moved them up 1, but right now I don't see him as a 4 seed.
I was not impressed with how they showed up at home against North Dakota. It was kind of embarrassing. Me as a Gonzaga fan.
Smoking crack on Arizona, too. It's not a state.
They've beaten legit teams. What do you mean?
That Kansas team that doesn't look that great.
Who else are they beating, Kevin?
Who?
Arizona State.
Oh,
They beat 2 ranked teams. Kansas, who's the other one? Probably
Xavier?
Florida was not even ranked.
I know they beat at least one other ranked team.
Yeah,
beat
they
some-
beat 2. I looked at it earlier. It's not coming to me.
Yeah, I can't
and it
think
wasn't
of
teams that I was that impressed with.
Kansas State, Xavier,
Xavier
Xavier.
St. John's.
struggled this week.
They still won by 12. That's a good struggle.
Xavier.
Xavier won by 12.
No, they.
No, I wasn't talking about Arizona State.
Oh,
Xavier struggled this week.
Yeah. I'll give Arizona State credit for beating Xavier, which I rank them ahead of. So.
I mean, you beat Kansas in Kansas.
I think you're on crack, but North Carolina at 4.
Played the best schedule so far. Played 5 quality teams.
Apparently, I'm on crack too.
Yeah,
They
both
only lost
on
to one of them, which is your number 1.
Okay.
So they lost to the best team in the country. That's
All right.
it.
Most quality
Haven't looked
wins.
that impressive.
They beat
Their
everyone
wins
else.
haven't been that impressive.
You
4
didn't-
and
you
1 quality wins.
That was a good win. I'm not saying that was a bad win. I think I moved them up. So
Well, we were at a 2-spot difference.
I have them at
a
8.
3 or a 4-spot difference.
now I'm at 6.
So a 2-spot difference. I'm gonna have them at 4th. You have them at 6. And
Where's
you got
the
a problem?
AP? Where's the AP got them at?
7 or 6.
Okay then. So you're smoking crack, and I'm on the right track. And it happens to rhyme.
Similar to TCU. And you guys.
Kevin finally reintroduced Arizona. It's nice of him.
Welcome.
Welcome back.
Still not sold on them.
But you're sold on Notre Dame with their 3 losses. That's the big one I have right now. Is your Notre Dame at 19?
And I have them at 23.
So you're gonna take them out right now?
That's what I thought he was doing to it. Like he's leaving right now.
You're so upset with it. Here. No,
I mean, it's not
25.
like you're the only one that left them in. You left them up a little high, I thought, but
honestly, I didn't pay attention that much to Notre Dame
Actually-
this week.
Sean has higher at 18.
I have them-
After the Syracuse Georgetown game, I think I paid attention to like 2 games after that.
I was watching all day, everything.
Were you?
Yeah, I just did nothing but watch sports all day. Seton Hall losing to Rutgers.
Notre Dame, I just have trouble dropping out because of Bonzie Colson and Matt Farrell if they play these teams on a neutral court.
But they aren't. They lost to Ball State.
I get
At home.
I get the argument. It's just really hard for me to.
And who'd they just lose to?
Some junk, right? It wasn't that great.
Do you remember who they lost to?
Looking.
But that was at home also. That's 2 home losses. Then they have an away game. An away game loss.
Tournament loss, right?
I don't even know if it was a tournament. It might have been just a
Or did they
away
win
game.
their tournament?
They won their tournament over Wichita State.
Yeah. Which they really shouldn't have even won that game.
Mm.
So really they should have 4 losses right now.
But they have 3.
All right.
Trust
me, I was
just saying.
I was
I
high
know.
on Notre Dame.
I'm just saying mentally, it's hard for me to draft them because I see Bonzie Colson and Matt Farrell, and I'm like, how can you be losing these?
But you're losing.
I
You're
know.
still losing. You lost
I
to
know.
Ball State at home, and
I
then
know.
whoever else they lost to was not
Obviously, a
very
loss this week. Bye.
Indiana, Michigan State are their 2 other losses.
Indiana's a quality.
No, I don't. I just
Both Ball State and Indiana are by 3 with the exact same score of 80-77.
I just can't figure it out with them.
So, if you're a Notre Dame fan and you see Notre Dame at 77, you better hope they make another basket or something. Jeez.
Another couple baskets. The other team's scoring 80. That's okay. I'm the only. Well, Gary has Creighton on there. Nobody else believes in Creighton.
Who's Creighton beaten?
I don't know. I don't like that one either. But like we said, the bottom, I don't really care.
Yeah.
I don't really like Texas Tech, but they beat Nevada, who everyone gives credit for beating, and they beat Northwestern, who at the time was ranked. So there's really not a lot out there to choose from.
Sean was so high on Kentucky, he had him on there twice.
Nice.
He was going to put him at 6th and 8th. Said, fuck it. They're that good.
So nice.
Creighton has wins over Northwestern and UCLA.
Decent wins. Got blown out by Gonzaga.
That they did.
So I guess I should throw North Dakota in there over Creighton. Because at least North Dakota was sent them to overtime.
But can North Dakota beat Loyola Chicago?
So with that being said, Stefan, North Dakota got smoked by Creighton 111-68. So
Actually, I did see that because I remember I looked at like North Dakota's schedule. I was like, oh wow, Creighton killed them, but we killed Creighton. But that's how
because the triangle theory isn't real.
No,
yeah. If A, it's not B, it's usually C.
every night is different. As somebody who plays basketball, one game you're shooting lights out, the next game you can't make a fucking layup.
Every day of your life, right?
Usually I'm either lights out from 3 and missing all my layups, or I'm making all my layups and not fucking hitting the rim with my 3s. So they usually don't happen at the same time.
If they did, he'd be James Harden.
And then when I'm warming up and I'm hitting all my 3s, I know I'm not going to make a single 3 in the game.
You waste it.
So I'm sitting there just draining every single one. Like, all right, don't pass me the ball for a 3.
That was me in NBA 2K this weekend. Warm-ups, fine. During the game, Brick City.
No, I actually liked everyone's except this one. It's
Yeah.
messed up.
I don't know how much. I think he.
Yeah, that's why I didn't really mention. I'm kind of paying attention to these ones, and everyone I thought did it was reasonable.
Yeah, I didn't have too many issues.
No, me either.
Nothing to point out, at least.
Nevada making it. That's the only one I have to point out.
And Minnesota losing.
That's why we combine them and then get our poll.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with other votes. I actually kind of like it. I'd rather have this type than when we did college football where we had like one other team getting votes.
Oh.
All right, to next week's picks. Buffalo versus Syracuse, unless you wanted to do St. Bonaventure, Stefan.
I didn't notice that. That is interesting. No, that's your call.
Okay.
Talk about.
Do you want to do a side bet over under?
Over under what?
The St. Bonaventure game.
Oh, St. Bonnie game.
I know that the only reason you switched it was because I picked it for you. That's the only reason you switched it. And I told Corey that. I was like, I would go, the reason he's going to get me for it is, I didn't know. Like, I basically said, like, you didn't like that I picked it for you. And your response was, I didn't know I didn't get to pick my own team's game or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, I knew it. I told that before, like, I even texted you, I think.
You could have at least texted me.
But it's whatever. Either game, I mean, I think they're actually both going to be decent games. Buffalo's not a terrible team, but
Scrub.
I think just go. I only picked it because head-to-head, St. Bonnie's they beat Buffalo. So I thought that would be a more interesting matchup.
But as the triangle test has proven.
And they're a more proven program. They actually make tournaments once in a while.
So is Buffalo. Buffalo made the tournament last year.
One. Trust me, my brother went to Buffalo. Anytime they make the tournament, he gets excited. They've made it like once.
They've made it a couple times.
So he got excited one time.
Yeah, he got excited one time. It was short-lived because they lost immediately.
Yeah, they usually make it as like a 16 seed.
I think they might have been like a 15 or something.
Hey, 15s can win.
When you're in the MAC, you get those. You get a little bit better than like the SWAC or whatever those conferences are. Southeastern Conference and even the WCC. I mean, imagine if like San Francisco made it from the WCC. See what they get.
I don't know. They had Bill Russell, probably the top.
They had to beat Gonzaga along the way, so probably get like a 13, 12.
Buffalo Bulls have 2 tournament appearances.
Okay. How many does St. Bonaventure have?
A lot.
A lot more than 2.
I'd say maybe 10 or more.
Ooh.
Have they been in the Atlantic 10? Are they in the Atlantic 10?
Yeah.
Have they been in there the whole time?
I don't think
No.
so. But I'm not positive.
I didn't think they were in there the whole time.
Really? How many do you think? Corey's saying at least 10?
I said 10.
I'll say 5.
Stefan, you were close. 6.
It's more than Buffalo. That's all that matters.
4. They have a win at least in the tournament,
There you go.
I think.
Plus, I was also thinking back when I went to a St. Bonaventure Syracuse game 2 years ago, and they were actually in command of that game for a while. Then Syracuse ended up blowing them out. Well, not really blowing them out, but pulled away. But I just thought it would be a more interesting matchup. But to each their own. You choose Buffalo. Go with Buffalo. Ohio State UNC could be interesting. It's at UNC. Probably not going to be interesting. But
I don't know if it will be in North Carolina, but it was the better of the games that they were playing.
yeah, it definitely was. It is in North Carolina, I'm pretty sure. I don't think they're doing any like neutral
No.
court. Oh no, this was at
This is the neutral one.
That is a neutral court.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's at like some weird. What was it called?
We looked it up too. It was some
like
weird.
Champions or
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
It's a neutral court game, but I don't know if that'll matter.
Who else was in it? Kentucky and or was it
A
Kentucky?
team that wasn't that good though.
Oh, I thought it was actually a good matchup the other.
Maryland,
remember,
right?
No, remember we were like, oh, who's the other good matchup? Then we looked up and it was like UNC, Ohio State. We're like, oh, we weren't that excited about it.
Hit Kentucky. UCLA.
Yeah, Kentucky, UCLA, which probably won't be a good matchup, but at least it was like 2 good programs.
Right.
But yeah, that is the other one. I know that for a fact.
It would have been better if those 3 players were there.
Yeah.
Someone's going against the Zags?
It's in San Diego State.
It's gonna be an interesting game. I mean, if they play like they did against North Dakota, I would see the San Diego State winning. But I think Mark Few will get them back on track. Hopefully.
I'm looking.
Both went with Georgia.
Whoa. Let's back up.
Whoa. Going too fast.
San Diego State is 1-3 against Gonzaga all time. So there is.
They probably actually should be 2-3 because they got one of their games canceled that was on an aircraft carrier.
Oh,
It was at an air base or something.
Yeah.
They were handling Gonzaga that game, and I was like, Jesus. Then they
Was
canceled
that
it.
Kawhi
They canceled
Leonard,
it at
San
half.
Diego
I
State?
don't think it was Kawhi Leonard. But they were handling Gonzaga, and I was kind of upset about it. And then they canceled it like at halftime. They didn't let him come back on the court because of the conditions of the court. So I was actually happy because they probably would have lost that game. And instead they got nothing. So, but I don't know how they are. I haven't seen them play. They're usually a decent team, usually athletic.
Their coach usually has a decent team.
I don't like that ship game that they do.
They stopped doing that.
That game.
Yeah, I was gonna say they don't even do them
North
anymore.
Carolina had that game versus Michigan State, and they lost to a Michigan State-led team by Draymond Green.
I remember Syracuse had one. Who did Syracuse have one
San
against?
Diego State.
Was it? Yeah.
Oh.
And it was just like nobody was hitting anything. It's like an outside, like you're playing like at an outside court, basically.
That's why I thought Draymond Green dominated, because
like
he
nobody
just bodied people.
Nobody,
low.
You can't shoot. Like you don't shoot as well outside as you do inside.
Yeah,
so that's a known fact.
Especially with wind conditions.
Right, exactly. You're on. Yeah, you're like on the water, so obviously it's windy. Like, what are you expecting here?
Courts got wet was another issue. They couldn't keep them dry. Hence why your game got canceled.
Yeah, but that wasn't even. That was actually like in an air base or something. It was just like really humid.
Yeah.
It was like in a hangar or something, like an airplane hangar thing.
Now can we move?
Yes.
All right, Georgia Tech.
Just to go back, I wouldn't be surprised if Gonzaga lost that game.
Okay.
But I think they will pull it out.
So is it like a 55-45 in favor of Gonzaga?
60-40.
So it is a little less close than I thought you think it is.
I don't know who San Diego State had. I don't know.
I
I don't think they're that great. They're not ranked, obviously. So,
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, they usually put together an athletic team. So, see.
Georgia Tech, Georgia.
Originally-
Georgia has a good record, but they have played nobody.
Originally, you took the Yellow Jackets, but now you're taking GT instead. So,
Yeah, I'm just going school initiatives from here on out.
56, 43. You're pretty close.
I went with Georgia Tech because I like their coach, honestly.
Yeah, see.
I don't know what
I haven't
Georgia
seen
Tech
either of
has.
them play,
Yeah,
so I don't know.
I have no idea. It's in Georgia, I believe.
Yep.
Makes it more interesting.
Yep. It's a good in-state rivalry. And this was a shitty week to pick games. So there was not really much going on.
That's what leads us to our next game.
That game could be decent, though.
SF Austin versus Mizzou.
I don't think you're on the right side of the decent part, but
SFA, if they win,
if they win, they better go in your top 25. That's all I'm
if
saying.
they win, they beat LSU. They played Mississippi State tight. And I need them to win to make Mississippi State rocket right back into my top 25.
Jesus. Oh, God. You would Mississippi State. What happened to Mississippi State? Did we talk about that?
They got beat by Cincinnati in a road game.
Got smoked by Cincinnati. Like I said they would. Double
15,
digits.
15 points.
Double digits, like I said. See, I actually got the double digits right. You, on the other hand.
I had a tougher call.
Yeah. I don't know why I ended up. Has Missouri been playing bad? I had them in my top 25.
They don't have Porter anymore.
I know, but they were still playing decent, I thought. And then they must have lost a game that I didn't like. But I think Missouri is still a good team. They still have good players.
They should have more talent than SFA.
They had, they should. But you're high on SFA. So.
I'm loving SFA this year.
Missouri's 9-2, favored by 90%.
90%. Loving it.
I dropped them out after their loss to West Virginia by 4. I'm guessing that's when I dropped them out. I don't know why I haven't put them back in. I should have put them in instead of Iowa State.
I mean, they lost to Utah.
I mean, they don't really have any quality wins, I guess. Right there.
Mistake.
I should have.
Yeah, but they had Porter at that point.
So, and one of our other teams coming up, Wagner. Got to win over Wagner. St. John's. I'm telling you, St. John's is a decent team this year. St. John's is a decent team. They're close. I was close to putting them in my top 25. They get one more quality win, they're
Tight
in.
one with UCF.
One more and they're in. I'm telling you. See, I wish I could have put. I would,
SFA, let's go.
no, not a chance.
10% chance.
Texas, Alabama, though.
Actually, it was 9.8, but for SFA.
Texas versus Alabama.
Yeah.
You guys are all high on Alabama.
I'm going with the best NBA prospect in the country.
Well, what is that guy's name?
Colin Sexton.
Mobamba?
No.
Mobamba.
Not Bamba.
Oh, Bamba!
Not Bamba.
Oh, Bamba!
Who is a good prospect for Texas, but not the number one in the country.
Tell you what, if Alabama has 3 players, they are not beating Texas. Or even coming close to beating Texas.
If they have 3 players?
Yeah. But they did that one game.
Yeah, no, they aren't beating Texas.
Where they almost came back and won. No. Alabama's lost some games since then, too.
Mm-hmm.
They're not looking great. I'm more high on Texas. I think Texas has a solid team.
I think they're both average teams.
Stephen, you're high on St. John's. They beat Grand Canyon University by 8.
Big win. It's a big win.
You see those commercials all the time.
In Minnesota. Besides UCF. Well, UCF played Missouri tight.
Who you're not high on. Because you think Stephen F. Austin's better than them.
Yes.
Okay. Stephen F. Austin's trash, so... Game of the week right here, possibly. Wagner versus Dayton. I'm very high on Wagner, in case you couldn't tell.
Kevin, could you please pull up who's the favorite for that game?
Yeah.
Is that a 90?
I bet you it's closer than you think. I bet you it's closer than you think. What are you going with?
80,
Hold on.
80-20.
80-20?
Dayton.
I'll say it's closer than that. I get anything?
Anything like
Closer.
Yeah. So you get 79-21 down.
Yeah.
All right, what was it, the deal?
80-20? What is it?
78.9.
Damn it!
Go! I'm not impressed by Dayton. I think this is it's a trap game for them. They're done.
Besides the bet, though, how good am I for setting where it was at?
Not that good.
I'm pretty close.
Not that good.
Pretty close.
Not that good.
I mean, 79 technically.
What do you think? Okay, so what do you think for the next one?
For Portland State, Cal?
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
Since the odds are against you on this one, apparently.
I'm thinking Cal is probably favored. Ooh. 58.
Wow, you're keeping it close.
58, what would that be? 60-40, so 58-42.
What did you say?
58-42, Cal?
Portland State, 66%.
Ooh.
Wow.
Way off.
Wow, you were in the wrong end of that one. That's for sure.
Cal is not favored in their next 2, actually. They're underdogs against Seattle University.
Wow. So Cal's a good program this year.
5-6. With losses to... Can I change my San Diego State? They beat San Diego State by 1. They lost to Central Arkansas. Lost to St. Mary's. Lost to Chaminade, obviously, in VCU.
Mm-hmm.
Wichita State. Yeah. There's no impressive win.
No. No, I'm not confident.
I mean, Portland State. Let's go through their resume. They lost.
They played Duke tight, right?
Yeah, they lost to Duke. Well, they lost to Duke by 17, but it was close
But
till
they
the
played
end.
them tight for a while. Yeah.
Beat UC Riverside, Utah State. Lost to Butler by 2, but only Stefan was high on Butler, so.
Yeah.
beat Stanford 87-78. I didn't even know this was a school. Portland Bible by 75. Loyola Mary by 9. Santa Clara by 3. Lost to Oregon by 11. I mean, the odds may not agree with you, but I mean, neither team has like any impressiveness. The only thing Portland State can do is score. They averaged 92 points a game.
Yeah. Well, 66-34 isn't really in my favor, but better than Missouri. That's a.
I was actually surprised at that. I was just going off of how Portland did in the PK80 tournament.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Stefan is taking his bathroom break. You want to talk about NBA?
Sure. I saw you proposed a question. I would
Yes.
love to talk about it.
Okay. Who would you rather have on your team, Ben Simmons or Porzingis of the Knicks?
Okay. So, can I do a follow-up question real quick?
Sure. I heard
Is this like,
Go ahead.
who would I rather have on my team if I already had a team, or if I was like starting my team with a draft pick, would I take Ben Simmons over Porzingis? Like if all the NBA players were in a draft, would I take Simmons over him?
Well, let's just put it this way. You're playing a pickup game. Who you take?
Okay. If I'm playing a pickup game, I'm going to take Porzingis. I like the fact that he's 7 foot and can shoot the 3, which means probably Ben Simmons couldn't guard him if we're both going against each other and Ben Simmons was on your pickup team. But I'd lose some defensive. I mean, not so much actually. Porzingis does get blocks because of his length. I don't know. I like Porzingis. I like him in that matchup.
But if you're all right, then what if you're trying to form a team?
If I am forming a team, I am going with Ben Simmons, pretty much hands down, because I like his leadership at such a young age, and he's like a Swiss Army knife. He can do a little bit of everything. And if you're going to start a team, you want a player that's versatile like that. Ball handling, the passing, his unselfishness, I think, is catches is contagious. The team becomes unselfish. So I would prefer that. If I were to start a team, Ben Simmons would be higher on my list. If I were to play Kevin in a pickup game, and they were both sitting like on the sides watching us play, I would say, Kristaps, will you join my team before I ask Ben Simmons to join my team?
I thought you were just talking about Ben Simmons.
I was explaining if I were to start an NBA franchise, why I would.
Oh,
I have different answers. If
Gotcha.
I were to do a pickup game, I'd rather have the 7-footer who's just going to bomb threes
gotcha.
for the day.
Yeah.
Because you only get them for one game. I don't really care about the intangibles with Ben Simmons for one game.
Fair enough. I would probably go. I think Ben Simmons has a more complete game.
Agreed.
I would take him either way.
Either one. What about you, Kevin? You proposed the question. You must have thought it was a close debate.
Well, I was listening to Mike and Mike, and they were or not Mike and Mike, Trey and Golick or
Golick.
whatever it's called.
Go like a
and
wingo.
And they were talking about who would you take, and I just thought it was an interesting question. I personally would probably take Simmons just because I feel he was going to pass the ball towards me in one-on-one, and he's a good player to develop if I had a team. It's all
And you
about
get
me.
to see him this year.
Yeah. 10 days away.
I'm still extremely jealous about that. More so because you get to see Damian Lillard, and I'm a big fan.
Hopefully, if he stays healthy.
Dalla.
Dame Dalla, one of my favorite rappers.
That's the only reason you're jealous. Not about his game.
He has good music. And he's phenomenal at basketball.
The produce wins though.
He doesn't. Free Lillard's coming real soon. Get him out of there.
Today is National Retiring Kobe's 2 Jerseys Day.
8 and 24.
You want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, that's fine.
What jersey should be retired? More. Are they retiring both?
Yeah, they are.
24 and 8.
What Kobe do you prefer? Kobe with the 24 or Kobe with the 8?
It's 24 first.
No.
No.
8 is Shaq. Kobe.
Oh,
24
8,
is the Pau Gasol championships. Kobe. And do we think it's fair that he gets 2?
No, I don't think it's. I don't know why.
Should we retire Jordan's 45?
Yeah.
You're gonna make me look up that stat I saw earlier.
That was with a different team, though.
Jordan was 45 with the Bulls.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know what number he was with the Wizards
I
at all.
thought he was 45 with the Wizards.
He was 45 with the Bulls.
Actually, it was 23 with the Wizards, I think.
Yeah.
Back to 23.
He only wore 45 for like a year.
Yeah, and they didn't win that year. He went right back to 20.
Well, retire it so you can wear it. You guys can keep talking while I'm looking for the stat.
What Kobe do you prefer? What one is retiring the jersey worthy?
I don't know his stats for each jersey,
But do you remember?
but I feel
You're
like
close to my age.
his number 8 was his first one, right?
Yeah.
The championships with that one was more towards Shaq being there.
You think that was Shaq's team?
I believe so.
I do too.
And so I would say, I don't even know. I would probably go with whichever one he wore the longest. I don't see any reason to
He
retire.
wore both the same amount.
Did he really?
He did.
Yeah. He
What was
probably
it? 9
fucking-
years on each.
Probably fucking playing that.
All right, here we go. 10 seasons with each. With 8, he had 8 All-Star selections, 4 first-team All-NBA, and 3 championships.
So we got 2.
24, he was 10 for 10 in All-Star selections, 7 first-team All-NBAs, and 2 championships.
That's when you're bringing in people like Vince Carter, who ain't even performing, but it's Vince Carter, so.
He was a fan favorite because it was Duncan.
They also provided Basketball Reference Hall of Fame probability. 8 is 99.8 and 24 is 99.9.
So let's look at it all the way around. Pretty much.
I think 24 is more impressive because he did it without Shaq. He won 2 championships. I don't know, like what.
Still had a solid team though with that Pau Gasol team.
Yeah.
People are quick to forget that Lamar Odom, when he wasn't on crack, was a really good player. And Pau Gasol even more so. Those 3 together were, obviously, they won 2 championships, were really hard to beat.
But were they better than Kobe and Shaq?
No, but Shaq.
Enough said.
But those
I think he had
Lamar
less.
Powell combined don't equal what Shaq was.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
That's my argument, is that I think that it was more Shaq with those 3 championships.
Yeah.
If he didn't have Shaq, was he going to win those 3 championships?
No.
Probably not. He had 10 years to. I mean, he obviously didn't have Lamar and Powell for those 10 years, but.
I don't know. You could argue that Kobe was better than Dwayne Wade, and Shaq got one with Dwayne Wade in Miami, and everyone says that was Dwayne Wade's championship. So why isn't it Kobe's when it was in the Lakers?
Because that was when Shaq was kind of on his way out.
That was the year directly after. That was the year he got traded.
Yeah.
So the year right after his 3 championships, he's washed?
Yeah.
By the way, Shaq 4 championships in a row. That's a big deal.
Not that big of a deal.
Big Diesel.
I'm not taking anything
Or
from
4
Kobe.
out
I
of
think
5,
Kobe is
actually.
a first ballot Hall of Famer, but
It's 4 out of 5 years.
do they do ballot? Do they do that?
First ballot?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Stop making me look up stuff.
Well, I just like you hear that like in the NFL, like first ballot, second ballot.
And baseball and boxing.
Okay. I didn't
So
know.
it's probably the NBA too.
Some other news that I heard today about the NBA is that they are proposing possibly doing like a little league like the Little League World Series, they're going to do a Little League NBA World Championship type thing.
Interesting.
14 and under teams.
So you get the LeBrons that are like, I'm only 14.
Yeah. Coming straight from Africa.
I should
Where
say,
they don't even keep track.
I should say the Mutombos.
Yeah. This is probably just a money haul because Little League World Series makes a shitload of money.
And because AAU basketball is in a lot of trouble. Because we know they've been corrupt for a while.
Well, I'm sure that this thing will be just as corrupt.
Which Little League has been. There's kids that are playing over their age, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's always something going on.
Also, what was it, like 23 teams started a digital video game league?
And for Little League?
No, for NBA 2K.
Huh.
So NBA's doing a lot of different things.
Just trying to make that money. Make that guac.
I'll make that moolah.
Make that guac.
Guidelines for nomination and election into Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame.
Can't do it right now. Make that guac.
Sorry, there's a lot of information here. A player must be fully retired for 4 full seasons. Coach must be fully retired for 4 seasons if still active. Blah, blah, blah.
Only 4, huh?
You can be inducted as a referee, apparently. Screening committees. There are 2 committees. North America and Women's. These review individual nominees to be... Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, another thing that happened today. ESPN president stepping down.
Oh, yeah, for drug issues.
Well, substance abuse.
Well, we didn't even talk about Carolina's owner. But
Yeah, we did. Talked about the
we did talk about that? Okay.
Yeah, back in the NFL segment.
Yep.
You were there.
Help us.
You remember.
How quickly I forget.
Remember we talked about Diddy?
Yeah, and
Steph Curry.
Jordan buying the
Yeah.
team. Yeah.
Apparently, there is a committee that...
Podcast, Corey. We're here now.
Woo! All right. There's a committee that elects people into the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
All right.
They some people get left out, and then you get a chance the next year, just like any other.
I really want to go in 4 years to that one that's going to have Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen. It won't even be all of them. How are you going to choose between those ones?
I won't. Ray Allen didn't officially retire until after that, so he won't even be
in with those guys?
Yeah. So he
got
just
game.
or this year, I think. Didn't
Okay. That's going to be.
I don't know how that works. Like, do you have to officially retire?
I don't know how
or
it
like,
works.
is it
Or
just
that
when you
you
last
not
played?
being on a team?
Right.
I would think, but
That's what I would think, but I don't know if it counts when you officially retire.
either way, when that comes in,
A player must be fully retired for 4 full seasons before being eligible for enshrinement. He or she may then be considered for enshrinement in the 5th year of retirement. Should a player come out of retirement for a short period of time, as defined by the Basketball Hall of Fame, his or her case in eligibility for enshrinement shall be reviewed on an individual basis.
So it sounds like you need to retire.
2017. So 2022 is going to be a crazy good class.
I'm still mystified how referees can be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
No, you're right. 2021, because Garnett and all of them retired last year.
Yeah.
Duncan, Garnett. So 2021, crazy good class.
They do that right at the Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
which is
Springfield, Illinois.
Springfield, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
There's a few Springfields out there.
Yeah.
Too many.
Okay.
The Simpsons live in one of them, right?
Yeah.
Well, when did they get? I forgot. All right, on to Premier Football. Whatever.
Basketball.
I don't even know anymore.
We're gonna start covering Lithuania Basketball League.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Balls are out there now.
Yes.
For the month that they play, sure.
Can we talk about my golden tickets in Premier League? Damn, gold. Gold.
You saw that one gold line, and you're like, what's all this gold
Yeah,
about?
what's this gold?
What's
I'm gonna start putting this gold in more places. I get extra points for these. That's counts as double.
No, it's just a tiebreaker.
Counts as double.
I'm not real worried. It's between you two at this point.
What do you mean? You're right in the hunt.
You could come back this week.
It's opposite day for you.
Mm.
You're right in the hunt.
I mean, heck, you win this week, you're right back in this thing.
If I get 2 golds, I'm right back in it. They count as 10 wins.
No, they don't. That's not how this works.
No, they don't.
Don't listen to Stefan and his Krupp rules. All right.
Listen, I have a corrupt fantasy football league. I'm going to corrupt the shit out of this too, okay?
If you like soccer, a lot of soccer coming up in the next 2 weeks. Following these 2 week match days, as they're called, they play again the following weekend, and then again New Year's Day, January 2nd, and then 2 days later. So, busy Premier League coming up, if you're into that thing. All right,
Super.
Top 5 time. Let me get the music going for you.
Cue music, please.
I'm just going to dance to it even though I don't hear it.
But you do hear it.
I
Mentally.
don't, mentally. I'm going too slow for it.
Yeah.
Here, I'll let you guys hear it so I can't hear it. Taking me back. Alright, no more music. That's why we can't have nice things.
I don't even remember what my top 5 was anymore. I already forgot it.
That's why I wrote them down.
Smart idea.
Dun, dun, dun.
So pick me to go last.
Kevin, you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'll go first because I want to play my number 1.
Okay.
Sorry. There we go. Got it ready.
Number
Number 5, Jingle Bell Rock. It's a good one. Hall & Oates version, of course.
I was going to say, do you have a special version?
Yes, Hall & Oates.
Okay.
Another song I usually sing in July. My number 4. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Okay. What version?
I don't have a preference.
Okay.
My
You just
version. My version. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Santa Claus is Coming to Town is number 3, of course. Bruce Springsteen. Is there a version of Rudolph? Because that's my number 2. I mean, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Just proves what you can do when you're a minority. Make things happen. You haven't heard that case? Rudolph is a minority being oppressed?
Where's this podcast going right now?
This is just a preview for when I'm drunk, you know.
It's a Kaepernick podcast?
And then this next one. Let me get this song queued up here. I had never heard of this until a couple of years ago. Dominic the Donkey. Number 1. Mainly because I went so long in life without hearing the song.
Heard it.
It's Christmas?
Yeah. The Italian Christmas donkey.
Santa's got a little friend, his name is
Thank you, Italy.
Alright.
Cool. Out later.
My turn?
No, he's at number 1. Oh, that was your number 1?
That was number 1?
He's scared to play it for copyright.
No, he's probably playing them.
I played it. You guys can't hear it because the computer's all wonky.
My number 5 is Christmas Rappin' by Curtis Blow.
Christmas rapping.
Yeah, good luck. Trying to find any
Curtis
of these
Blow. There it is. I got Spotify.
And all through the
Hold it now, wait, hold it. That's played out. Hit it.
Are you playing it?
Yeah.
I like like it.
Give me all that jive about things you wrote before I was alive.
I
'Cause
like
this
it.
ain't
All right.
1823,
All right.
ain't even 19.
Number 4, Ludachristmas by Ludacris.
Really? Ludacris?
It's by Ludacris.
Man, I was expecting somebody else to be singing Ludachristmas.
This one might not be it.
God, I hope not.
Oh, there's Ludacris. How do you spell that?
If there's not a DMX Christmas song in here, I'm going to be very severely disappointed.
Simply because he doesn't have one. No one wants to hear the dog.
Oh, there it is.
I do.
Did you find it?
Uh,
You want me to
oh,
move?
wait, hold on. That's not. That's a different song.
Album.
It went to Get Back.
Okay. You want me to move to number 3?
Yeah, go ahead.
Number 3 is Christmas in Harlem by Kanye West.
Oh, God.
Big Kanye fan.
Well, that one's here.
Probably the biggest Kanye fan.
Christmas in Harlem, right after autumn falls, soaking it all in. Then
Yeah,
we
it's nice
go
to hear
hit
different
the
Christmas
mall,
music once in a
even
while.
though we ain't
Number 2, simply because it's hilarious. Santa Goes Straight to the Ghetto by Snoop Dogg.
This just came out this year.
Yeah, it's new.
With Boys to Men.
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, that's what. Well, it's with the Boys to Men.
Oh, yeah.
The Boys to Men.
I don't know if you'll be a big fan.
Now on the first day of Christmas, my homeboy gave to me a sack of that crazy glue and told me to smoke it up slowly. Now
All
on
right,
the second
number
day
1.
of Christmas, my homeboy gave to me a
Merry
fifth of that hen dog. and told me to
Motherfucking Christmas by Easy.
Mary. Oh, there it is. Easy. Spotify, folks.
And give your Uncle Dolomite a kiss.
Give
Well,
your
what you
Uncle
want,
Dolomite
baby?
a kiss.
you tell me a story?
You want me to tell you a story?
Hell yeah, me too.
Yes, honey.
So
gonna
good.
tell you a
DMX
story
does do a
about the
Rudolph
bad
version, by
Eazy-E.
the way.
He was drinking whiskey and gin at the age of 3.
Not a
Listen,
slip, but
listen
it is
well.
funny.
He's the bad
You wanna hear it?
motherfucker.
I got it.
Goddamn book.
Right.
Here, let me read you this one. Christmas in Compton.
He does his come on
It wasn't-
ad libs.
Come on.
Is this really him?
Dash for
Yeah.
I'm watching him sing it right now.
Cupid and Donder and Blitzen. But do you recall what's that?
The most famous reindeer of all.
Come on.
Come on!
Come on.
What?
Oh, if I had only known, I would have opened the show with this.
I was trying to bring you some.
I knew he had to have something.
Some different songs, Kevin. Some different songs in
It's
a
nice.
genre that I listen to.
It's nice to hear some different songs. And by the way, I'm keeping that DMX version of Rudolph playing in the background. So, Stefan, what's your top 25? Your top 5.
Yeah, I don't want to hear 25.
Oh, I hear 25. My
You're
favorite.
the holiday man. This one's definitely going to get us pulled from YouTube.
DMX?
Dashing Through the Snow was my number 5.
With a one-horse open sleigh.
Yeah, it's the classic. Probably one of the most well-known. Leads right into Rudolph, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or no, Jingle Bells. Leads right into Jingle Bells.
Yeah, why would you?
Yeah. Number 4. Got it already.
Come and get it.
4.
Sorry.
You're too excited about this.
Yes.
Number 4 was
It's not even like an official DMX song either. It just happens to be him like at some
It's a-
like
yeah, it's a
charity thing.
You know what? I know what it is. No, I don't. I don't know what it is. Oh yeah, Frosty the Snowman.
Okay.
Frosty the Snowman, solid pick.
If you say so.
Number 3 is White Christmas
Classic.
by Barry Manilow.
Classic.
Just because I think that I do a great rendition of it. I just have that deep voice for it.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah. You should probably do a perfect DMX impersonation.
I will not. I'll do a Ja Rule impersonation.
Oh, okay.
But I won't do DMX. They're too similar. That's why I don't do DMX. Number 2
Now you got me curious.
is
If Ja Rule has a version.
Number 2 will be the Grinch song.
Classic.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
I'm a big fan of the Grinch.
You're a big fan of the Ringo Jubilant and football or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Love that shit. I think it's just the funniest song. One of the funniest songs. And number 1. Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
Got a lot of comedy in your top 5. Well,
I'm a funny guy.
about 2 or 3 of the songs.
I'm a funny guy, so I go with funny songs. That's the way it rolls. Ja Rule's got something out there, I'm sure.
Ja Rule reads the Grinch.
That'll be perfect. Play that. I need to hear that.
Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot, but the Grinch who lived just north of Whoville did not. The
This is
Grinch
6
hated
minutes
Christmas
long.
the
I
whole
can't
Christmas
put this
season. Now please don't ask why. No one.
Ja Rule Christmas.
It's
Yeah,
the
I
Grinch.
got it. Raise the Grinch. Yeah, 7 minutes long almost.
Is living it up, reading the Grinch. That was 2 years ago. What's all?
Like Christmas a lot, but the Grinch who lived just north.
I'm sticking with my DMX.
Yeah.
Grinch hated Christmas.
It's not even better than when Ludacris reads Llama Llama Red Pajama.
Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donder and Blitzen.
All right, let's end this. Not even gonna play our usual outro. I'm giving respect to the Christmas holiday. Santa Gnome. Santa's always watching you kids. Remember that.
So is Elf on the Shelf.
Ah, screw that little fucker.
You guys doing Elf on the Shelf or no? Confusing.
High
No,
five.
I just don't think they're old enough to really get it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do
Get
it.
Smith wants to do it.
Fight the power.
It wasn't even around then.
Oh, it's a new thing.
That's a newer thing.
Yeah.
The millennial type thing.
It's too much work for the parents.
It is a lot of work. When do you start it? You start it first day of December?
Yeah, I
No?
think so.
Yeah. I don't know when they even start it.
I don't even know.
I mean, it sounds like a fun idea.
Yeah, but what if you forget to move it that night?
Then you just say, hey,
Last thing I need as a parent is more homework. I'm done with school when I'm done with school.
I like the idea of that I've been seeing go around is wrapping the gifts, empty boxes of gifts,
Oh, that's my style.
and throwing them in your fireplace if the kids are bad. I like that better.
That is a good idea.
That'll keep your kids straight. They'll be like, they ain't gonna fuck around. They'll be good. Any other parenting tips?
I'm good.
I don't even like getting gifts for Christmas, so
Same.
buy me beer, shots.
I'm 32. I can buy whatever I want.
That's how I've been for like years. Like I mean, lately I don't buy things for myself, but anytime I want something like a new TV, I go out and buy a new TV. Wait for somebody to buy me something for Christmas. Fuck that.
Don't wait on nobody.
Wait on nobody. I want it, I go get it. PS4, I'll go get it. Don't worry. I'll get it.
Just don't want it right now.
I just don't want it right now.
All right. On that note.
A-Town.
Always
I'll
cool.
be real.
Come on.
Get it!